Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this demonstration, I would like to demo how you can set up the data conversion services so you can automate the import of your bank statement for bank reconciliation, and also you can automate the export of your payment file so you can upload to your bank and automate the payment to your vendors. Okay, so let's start with the setup. This service is provided by AMC Banking. So in order to set it up, you have to go to the bank data conversion service setup. So you can just search bank data in your search bar, and then it will bring you to, you can click on that link and it will bring you to this window. So right now by default, it's set up to use the demo user. And actually, this link will provide you the walkthrough, the wizard for you to go through the process to register for this bank data conversion service. So as I said, this is provided by AMC Banking. So it will bring you to their website, then it will walk you through the wizard for register for the bank conversion service. But if you pay attention to the plans here, so it tells you you have to register for the service first. Then I give you a link. You can go to register the service, and you have to purchase this AMC Banking Fundamentals module. This is free of charge, but they have different plans. You have the Bank Fundamentals module, it's free of charge for the license. Then they have more advanced plans, then you have to pay for the license. So they have Banking Plus and the Banking Enterprise. It depends on how many transaction lines are in your bank statement or in your payment file. Okay, so if it's over 200 lines, then you have to consider the other two plans. And also you have to set up your bank account. If you expand it, then you can see the steps for you to set it up. So after you register from the first step, then you get your username, password. Then you have to put that in your Dynamics Nav or Business Central. And after you do that, then you can do some setup on your bank card, and then you can get a pro email, do something. So then I just want to bring to attention to you guys, even this fundamental service is not all free, because if you click on that link and switch this to US dollar, then you can see it tells you $50 US dollars per bank account. And if you click on this information icon, then you can see so actually for this plan, for this banking fundamentals plan, it's free of charge for the license, but you have to pay. And also the first bank account license is free. And for additional bank accounts, like if you have multiple bank accounts in your Business Central or Dynamics Nav, then you have to pay $50 US dollars per month per additional bank account. So it's not completely free, because many users, many consultants, they're confused, like if this service provided by this AMC Banking is completely free, because they're a Microsoft partner, and since NAV 2015, start from NAV 2015 and up, then they are partner with Microsoft, then they can provide this the data exchange service, right? So the data conversion service. And if you look at this, if you look at the other plans, then you have to pay for the license as well. Okay, and also the monthly fee is increased as well. Okay, so let's say we're gonna use this plan for Fundamentals Cloud. Then let's follow the setup, okay? So then you, after you register, you put in your username and password in the bank data conversion service setup. But for this demo, I'm gonna only use the demo user to do this demo, okay? Then I'll walk you guys through, like when you register for their service, like what setup you need to do. But I'm gonna use this demo user to do the walkthrough. And so for this demo user can only work with one of the bank here, according to AMC Banking. So this is your demo database. Then you have a list of demo banks. So that demo user only work with this WWB Transfers Bank. So on this bank account card, you have to set up first. You have to, and also you have to use this database, Demo Bank GB database. So not database, you have to use this bank name. So you have to check if the banks you want for that service listed here the way for you to check, you can filter by the region country code, CA. Then you will see what Canadian banks it supports. So pretty much it supports all the major Canadian banks like RBC, Scotiabank, TD, and Bank of Montreal, CIBC. Okay, all those major banks, HSBC, Desjardins, okay, all those major banks. And yeah, it supports global major banks. So it supports all the global major banks. And then, but for this demo purpose, and we can only use this demo bank GB. This is a demo bank. It's a Great Britain bank, demo bank. So the currency code is also GBP. Okay, so then this bank, then you use this bank, and you notice this currency code is GBP. Because later you notice when you do the payment file export, you have some issue if your vendor is not GBP. Okay, so we have to set up the bank statement import format, so you have to set up to use this one, the bank data conversion service bank statement. You have to set up to use this one, okay? Because AMC has already partners with all those major banks, and they got their bank format file structures. So it's all in their data exchange definition. You don't need to do any actual work. I will explain this later. Okay, so you have to select this. You have to select the payment export format, the bank data conversion service. So you have to select this credit one. Okay, so you have to select these two fields. Then you have to select this field, the bank name field on the bank card. So for this demo, I can only use this bank, and but I have to specify these two data conversion service. Okay, and after you did that, so another thing you have to do is first I'm going to demo how you can create a payment file, export a payment file. So that in order for that demo, I have to go to my vendor cards. I'm going to use the vendor 10,000, this then postmaster. On the vendor card, you have to change your payment method to the payment method linked to your bank data conversion service. Okay, so there in the demo database, you have this bank data conversion service for domestic bank and for international banks. You have these two. And if you look at here, the payment export line definition, then you have that data conversion service defined there, and you have the payment type defined there. Okay, so you have to select one of these in order for it to work for your vendor payment file export. So I have to select this. After I select this on my vendor, so you notice on my bank card, the currency code is GBP, right? It's the Great Britain pound. So if it's a pound, then on my vendor card, so originally I spent lots of time to figure out why I go to my payment journal, why after I create a purchase invoice, how come the suggest vendor payment does not populate any lines? And finally I found, this demo bank is with the currency code GBP. So the vendor I'm trying to work on, default from this demo database, it wasn't using the currency code GBP before, okay? So you have to change on the vendor card, you change the currency code to GBP for it to work. Then you create a purchase invoice. That before I create the purchase invoice, let's take a look at my work date. Okay, because this is a demo database, it always forces you to use the future date. But because I already imported our license, I'm trying to use current date. Okay, so let's go to the purchase invoice. Now I'm gonna create a purchase invoice, and for this vendor. So for this vendor, 10,000, I'm gonna create a purchase invoice for it, and I'm gonna use the posting date like 1 month before. So in this case, I can, because today's date is October the 4th, and then if I create a payment using today's date, then this will be due, right? So that's why I'm trying to create the due date and posting it earlier. So I'm gonna create an item, a purchase line, and put a location. And so this is for $863.91. Okay, so after you create this and I have everything, then we can post this purchase invoice. Remember, it's 863 already exists. Purchase invoice. Oh, yeah, because previous day I think I used. Let's do it. I created the invoice with that earlier. Let's use something else. Okay. So no, let's not do that. So document date actually. So let's use something even earlier, and posting date. Let's say. So I'm gonna post today, and this I'm gonna use the invoice vendor invoice data. I just because this is for demo, I just used today this due date as the vendor invoice date for now. But actually, you have to get invoice number the vendor invoice number. Actually, you have to get a vendor invoice number from your vendor, right? Okay, so now I need to post this, and then okay, it's posted. Then you will see that purchase invoice will disappear from this view, and then you can go to your payment journal to suggest vendor for this payment. Okay, so right now in my payment journal, everything is blank. Okay, I don't have anything. Okay, and for you to check the messages for your bank data conversion services, there's another setup you have to do. So so this demo database already created that setup. So you have to create another general batch, and this link to the bank data conversion service. And for this bank, right, transfer, and then you have to make sure you have to allow the payment export on this. Make sure this checkbox is enabled, and then you select this batch. And there's a few there's some fields you have to make sure you choose column and make them show up. Like this has payment export arrow, so we want to know like when we export it has arrow or not. So make sure this field is visible, and export it to payment file. Make this checkbox available, and message to recipient. So this will carry over from the bank. This will give you the information like if you have a purchase invoice with invoice number, then it will populate that invoice number here. Okay, so yeah, make sure those fields are available, and this recipient bank account is the bank account you set up on the vendor card. So on the vendor card, let's go back to that vendor card for 10,000. Then so that field will populate. So on the vendor card, you have a field called preferred bank. So you have this preferred bank account code. So that recipient bank will populate that bank account code. Okay. So yeah, so those are the fields we need from to show up in the payment journal. The recipient bank account will populate that preferred bank account code. So now I'm gonna run the suggest vendor payments so I can use today's date. Everything looks good, and the document number. So it's already, the starting document number is already there. The balance account type is the bank account, and account number is that transfers bank. Okay, everything looks good. So let's run this. Then it says you have only created suggest vendor payment lines for currency code GBP. However, there are other open vendor ledger entries in currency other than GBP. Let's do not worry about them, because I only want to see anything related to this bank, GBP, because this bank currency code is GBP, okay? And I can create other vendors to use their own local bank. Okay, so now you have this available, and there's also another thing I spent lots of time to figure out, because in AMC Banking's instruction, they're telling you have to export the file through under the ribbon. Then there's a command called export payments to file. So this, when I try to customize my ribbon, usually if there's anything not available, you can go to customize your ribbon, and you should be able to find it from here, okay? So that wasn't originally be here. And then I went to my development environment, and I went to the payment journal and design, and I go to the at page actions, then I'm trying to look for that payment file export from here. Then I found the definition from the code. I went to the code. I found the definition from the code for the action. And I'll try to add that because I didn't see it before. And then it tells me it has something already exist. So then I found it. I did see it in this list, but it was called another. So the caption was something like this. So it has a ampersand, something like that, but it's a E ampersand Pu something. Okay, so then I found that is here. Then I have to rename that for me to find it in. So you see here export payment. So I just copied this from to here. So because this is the original name of that function, and then I have to copy that name to the caption to make it more obvious for me to select from the action. But actually I found it was under electronic payment. So I already added that but it was called another name, just called electronic payment export. It's not called export payments to file. So in Business Central, I think because of the version, maybe there are some changes from AMC for this net version. So then it's kind of confusing. So it was under electronic payment, but because previously when we do the EFT, we are using that export from the electronic payment. So I was thinking that's only for the EFT, but actually it's using that function for this. This is not EFT. So for this data conversion service, you don't need to use the EFT process to. The process looks similar, but it's not completely the same because you have to select your bank account type. You have to select the electronic payment. Okay, and yeah, we could say the process is the same, but we want to differentiate from the EFT with the bank data conversion service, right? So and then the bank payment type, you have to make sure, because in their AMC Banking's video, it didn't mention what bank payment type you have to select to make that happen. So actually, the bank payment type you have to select is the electronic payment. So after you populate this, you do not need to, if for the EFT, usually you will have apply entries applied. For this thing, yes, you need to do the same thing. You need to apply this entry. Okay, so we have this created for this. Then you have to set applies to ID. Let me think. Let me think. So I think this is the difference. Let me try with this because I tried this just one time, and yeah, you still have to do that, I believe. You still have to set applies to ID. So it's just a different name. It's just using, so EFT and this data conversion service, the process is the same, but it's just using different name. It's telling you that this process data conversion service. Okay, so you still have to apply that, but in their video, it didn't tell you have to do that. It just tell you that you have to, it didn't tell you have to select the bank payment type as electronic payment. So if those are missed, then you may not get the result you want. So then you do that. After that, then you can try to export payments to file. Okay, so this, you can do this. So it says it's processing, and then it gives you a file. It's called the bank data conversion service XML, and then you save this file to your local folder. I did it earlier, so I already have another file called this name. Just replace that one, okay? Then you could see has payment error, has payment export error. It says no, so you don't have any error. And export it to payment file. It has this checkbox checked, okay? So if you are using EFT, then you will use this field has payment export error. You will refer to this as well. And okay, so after you did that, then you have to confirm like you transmitted this file. So what you have to do after you get that XML file for your bank, then you have to upload that to your bank website. Okay, you upload that XML file. We just export it to your bank website, this file. Okay, and then the bank will do the payment instructions according to what you send them. And then you can post it in Business Central or Dynamics Nav. Oh, sorry, I missed one step. So this is the same step as you do the EFT. So after you export the file, then you have to confirm it's transmitted. You have to do transmit. Okay, and you have to say confirm it's transmitted successfully, and then you can post this line. Okay, so it's posted. Yeah, so this is the process for you to use the data conversion service to export the payment file. So this is the process for you to use the data conversion service to export the vendor payment file. And then you would like to import the bank statement to, you will like to import your bank statement to do the bank reconciliation or payment reconciliation journal. Okay, so for the bank reconciliation, so why we need to use that format, because like for the bank reconciliation, you have the function like import bank statement. You have this. So I have this created earlier, and after I post the other transaction, then you will see that transaction list as well, because previously I only have 2 transactions listed here, but now I have 2. I have 2 this transaction on today's date. Okay, yeah. So you want to do the reconciliation by import bank statement. Remember, we set it up on the bank account card for that transfer bank, and we set it up to use the data conversion service import file as well, right? Import statement. But because this file requires specific format, I do not. If you go to your data exchange definition, then you can take a look at the details of that data conversion service. So it's using this bank statement. If you open this, then you can see there's a specific format required by this import. And so it tells you the import file has to be XML format, and you have to use specific code unit in Business Central to import that file. And then it tells you the exact line definition. So there's no column, and then it has a specific tag, and you can see the definition, the mapping of the field. And so it has the bank additional transaction. So the bank transmission reference will be mapped to the field additional transaction information, and the original receiver reference will be mapped to this field. So the own reference will be mapped to document number. So you see, all these are the field mapping. And so all these field mapping decided what format your XML file has to provide. But I do not have a file, but like because I'm using the demo account, so that's why I do not have a sample file to use like this for this bank data conversion service. But if you registered with their service, then you can use this service and use your actual bank statement XML format of your bank statement, so you can import that. Then that will work, because I'm using a demo account, so that's why I cannot provide a sample file of this XML format to import. And in order to do the import, I created something different. And so if you understand how this structure for data exchange definitions work, then you don't even need to pay AMC Banking. Then you can create something, as long as your bank provides you the specification, you can create this data exchange definition yourself, right? And you just save the money for that monthly subscription fee. And what you can do, you create a test bank import data exchange definition file. Then you define your file type. So I want to use a text file, and so the type is the bank statement import. And then I specify the code unit XML port I want to use, and then I specify the line definition. And after I specify the line definition, I'll tell the system what columns I have in my file. So it's a it's a CSV, it's a text file, and also it can be a CSV file. Okay, so then I have the columns like as that the first column will be the date, and it's using this format, and second column is the description, third column is the amount. Okay, and then I map my field. So I tell the system, I tell the system the date will be mapped to the transaction date, and description will be mapped to my description, and the amount will be mapped to my statement amount. And after I did this mapping, and I have to set it up another thing called import and export. We have to set up this bank import and export setup. We have to do this. In this bank import export setup, I have to create a format as well. So I created this bank test bank import, and then I tell the system it's for the direction import only. Then I tell the system the code unit I'm gonna use, and tell the system the data exchange definition. Okay, remember we set up that definition code test bank import earlier. So I specify that. That's for the bank import export setup. So this is only used for the import. After I did this, I go to my bank account. So I have to switch that transfer bank account to use this instead of the other one, the bank data conversion service statement. The reason is because I don't have a sample file to import for the other one. So I'm gonna switch to this just for the demo purpose, okay? And then I created something earlier, so I have a format which match what I just set up in the data conversion definition. So the first column is the date, second column is the description, and the third column is my amount. So I have that, and the date format is the month, day, year is the same, okay? And you see, I only have 2 lines here, so then when I do the import, it will only import 2 lines, but my bank statement, my bank reconciliation, you already see it has 3 lines, and the third line is the same amount like this. So I'm gonna add this line for the demo purpose. And then after I did that, then I can go back to my bank. I can create a bank account reconciliation from scratch, but since I already created this one, so then I just you just specify the bank account here, and then you just click on like after you put in this, then this will populate it, and then you just click on import bank statement to import the statement to match with your bank. Okay, and so it's imported, but the date, it has some difference. This is a transaction that this is posting that there's some difference. Don't worry about that. So but the amount, you see the amount matches, right? And then I can say match automatically, tolerance, because there's a lot of tolerance for the days. I mean, these two, the posting and transaction day, there's lots of difference. So I just say 365, so then they can match. So then it just a match for me automatically. It says applied. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the match because I'm gonna use another way. So you can do this bank reconciliation, and also you have the another reconciliation method. It's called payment reconciliation journal. So you can use this instead of that bank account reconciliation. I created one earlier. So for this one, you can do the same thing. You can import bank transactions and import these ones, okay? And then you can do some reconciliation from this payment reconciliation journal as well. Yeah. So 2 different ways for you to do this. And so, but most people, they're used to the old way for doing that, to use the bank reconciliation journal, bank account reconciliation instead of the payment reconciliation journals. Okay. So another thing I want to mention, so this is how you can use the bank data conversion service provided by AMC Banking to import the bank statement and do your reconciliation to automate this process. And then you can use this service to export the vendor payment file to automate your payment to your vendors. So this is how it works. And to mention, I want to mention another thing is like this is the Business Central on-premise. If you are using Business Central Cloud, then you can install you can install a service called InvestNet Utility Bank Feeds. And after so actually this is automatically installed by Microsoft when you have this tenant up. So Microsoft provide this service for free, okay? So this service is for you to connect your bank with your online banking. Then you don't need to import the XML bank statement or any other format of your bank statement to do the bank reconciliation. You can just connect to that online service directly, and all your bank transactions will be listed. Then you can match those transactions with the transactions in your Business Central. So this is free compared with the other one, but the other one can do both way, inbound and outbound. Both your payment file export and the import of your bank statement can do both way, but this can only do the bank statement import. And you don't need to provide a file because it will do it automatically. And what you have to do is like you have to link your bank accounts to your online banking. And because I'm using the demo company, so I cannot do that. It will not allow me to do that in my demo company. But you have to click on this bank statement service. Then you can say create a new linked bank account. Then it will populate a window. Then you can search by your bank name. Then select that bank and link it. So it's very simple. And then after you did that, then you can after you create that bank link, then you can link to your online bank account. Okay, so this is create a new linked bank account. And also for the existing one, you can link to your online bank account. So this is two different steps. But after you link to your online bank account, then when you go to your bank reconciliation, when you go to your payment reconciliation journal, then you can just import. When you import, it will not ask you to go to a file. It will just import statement for you automatically. So that's the, but because I don't have anything, this is a demo company, I cannot show you how it works right now. But like if you have a production environment for Business Central and it's hosted by Microsoft Public Cloud, then you will be able to do that. So for example, I have this. And then when I click on import bank statement, so it will import bank transactions. By default, it will ask me to select a file to import, right? I have to choose the file. But if you link to your bank account, it will not ask you to import. It will not ask you to select it anymore. Okay, it will just provide you the option, like you can just match the bank transactions automatically. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's everything I want to talk for the for the automation of the bank reconciliation by importing the bank statement using the bank data conversion service, and also export the payment files through the bank data conversion service. Thank you everyone for joining this session. I hope to see you guys again next time. Thank you.